to get women in and having contracts is amazing. It's going to grow the game. It's going to make players better players because you can train full time and not have to worry about, oh, I've got to go to the gym before I go to work and then I've got to go to training later. So I think it will really be really important and really beneficial.
Hello, thank you for pressing play and welcome to another episode of the Women's Rugby Show. Can you believe it? It's episode 3. Now, as you know, this is the only digital programme which champions the women's game, and we bring you exclusive views and opinions from fans, coaches and of course players. Now, just like Jason Derulo and Santa on Christmas Eve, I am flying solo today. Unfortunately, my co-host Bex isn't available to be with us, but it doesn't matter because we are in for a Christmas cracker here at Surrey Sports Park. We've got Harlequins Ladies against Worcester Valkyries. Now, coming up a little bit later on in the show, we'll be getting interviews with players from both sides. But before we do any of that, please, you know what to do. First of all, hit that like button on this video. If you've got any comments to make, do feel free to leave them below. We always love to hear from you. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel. It means that when we do post a video, you'll get a notification telling you that we have done so. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure you are, then all you need to do is follow us at Women's Rugby Show on Twitter and Instagram. Right, so that out the way, let's preview today's match. We've got two sides which couldn't have more conflicting seasons if they tried. Harlequin Ladies, they are on a 9-game winning streak. They're looking for win number 10 today, and they are currently second in the Tyrrell Premier 15s. Unfortunately, on the flip side of that, Worcester Valkyries are propping up the table. They've not won any games, as we know from when we covered them on the last episode. So, the sides. The Harlequins co-managers Karen Finley and Gary Street have named 6 changes to their starting 15. Fiona Fletcher, she's the captain, she goes into the back row, and Shaunagh Brown, she goes in at prop. The 2 locks for today's game are Zoe Sainer and Taya Ashworth. So that's the forwards taken care of. Into the backs, Emily Scott, she starts at number 10, and they've got a really exciting lineup in the centres, inside and outside centre. There is Sarah Cornforth and there's Jade Mullin as well. So 2 exciting additions to their back line at 12 and 13. But the main news here from Quins Ladies is the signing of Jess Breach. She's one of only 3 players to have signed her England Women's 15s contract recently. She goes straight into the squad. She doesn't start the match, but don't be surprised if she comes on at some point off the bench. And so on to the visitors. So last time we caught up with Valkyries, they brought in a few new faces. They've got a few new faces again today. The biggest news here is Laura Keates, the World Cup winner for England. She's been out of the game for 2 years with a ruptured Achilles tendon. She comes back into the side today. She starts in the front row. It's her first game of rugby in 2 years and her first ever game in the Tyrrell Premier 15. So very exciting. And speaking of first game after 2 years, Megan Goddard, the fly half, she was signed recently from rivals Gloucester. It's her first game for the Valkyries in 2 years. They've got another couple of new faces, perhaps those that have been signed recently or those that have been signed a while back that haven't had a chance to play yet due to other commitments. That is Welsh number 8, Shaunagh, and there's also winger Angarad De Smet. So they both start today. So whatever happens, we should definitely see some exciting rugby. Now, the last time these 2 met, the score was actually 1969. It wasn't when they last played. That was the score. It was 19 to Valkyries at home, 69 points to Quins, who were away. Now, that's actually the 3rd highest points total for Valkyries this season. So unfortunately, it's not looking too good for them today. I can't see Quins giving them any early Christmas presents, and I know for a fact that Quins will want to put some high scores on the board before the end of 2018. Their last 2 matches, they've scored 108 points combined and only let in 7. So unfortunately, I can only see this going one way. But look, that's enough from myself. Oh dear. Let's see if we can get some opinions from the fans. Okay, so we're here with Archie and Ella. come to watch their first Harlequin Ladies game?
Yeah, first time.
Okay, so what made you want to come down and watch the team?
Well, I've been playing rugby for about 5 years now, and I've been doing training with Ellie Green and Leanne Riley lately, and I've been really enjoying it. I just wanted to see them when they're playing and see how they go.
Okay, have you followed them at all this season?
No, I haven't. No, not at all. But I watched the varsity game, the women's game before the actual game, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, come watch another women's game.
Brilliant. So what are you expecting from today's match?
I think that it will be quite an easy win for us. I think we're about second in the table, and Worcester are bottom, I think. So I think it should be an easy win, and we should get good rack of points on the table.
That's
very confident. Have you got the same views?
Yeah, I assume Harlequins are quite good. Worcester not as good or as strong, but go into this game just play.
Brilliant. So going back to women's rugby, you said you play yourself. What position do you play?
I play fly half.
Fly half. Okay, good position. So what are your thoughts on these the new contracts that have been brought in for some of the England players?
Well, I think it's great because women deserve an equal amount of pay and not pay, but the jobs and stuff. And I think it's great that they're getting the opportunity. I think it's really good.
And do you watch any men's rugby, just out of interest?
Yeah, quite a lot.
So how do you think the men's and women's game compares?
I think they're not too different anymore. You know, this day and age, everyone seems to be equal, and that's how it's coming into the game. So I enjoy watching women's rugby as much as I do men's rugby. With more people would.
Brilliant, fantastic. And do you see yourself maybe taking to this pitch in a few years' time and having more people watch women's rugby?
Yeah, that's my dream, to play for England, so yeah, hopefully it happens.
Brilliant. Ella, what's your last name?
Cromack.
Right, Ella Cromack, watch this space. This is an exclusive interview with a future England star. Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Steve and Sian, thank you very much for joining us today. So who are you here to see?
We're with Worcester. Our daughter plays for Worcester. It's Victoria Laughlin.
Okay, fine. And have you been watching her most of the season?
Yes, we have.
Every game.
Every game. Okay, well then I guess you're probably the best fans to ask. What has been going wrong for Worcester this season?
They're just a bit young, so they make some silly mistakes. We're lacking in a couple of key positions. I think once they get replaced, I think it'll make a massive difference because they're a good team, but they just make silly mistakes when they need to do something sensible.
What are those key positions?
10. I think definitely one. They were lacking in forwards, but they filled that up. But now we've got a new 10 in today, so I think that'll make a big difference. Getting the ball out quick to the backs. We don't use the backs enough, so the forwards like to keep the ball and keep it warm.
So there's a few new signings today.
And last week as well.
Yeah, and last week and the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think we went to see them against Richmond. So there's been a couple of new signings. Have you seen a significant difference since these signings have come in?
Yes, yeah. I think changing things around has helped. Yeah. So, but they do need to work more as a team, trust each other. I think that's really important, and stick to the plans that they've decided. And I think they could do really well. Just get that ball out quicker.
Where do you see the future of women's rugby? Obviously, it's growing. We've got a Premier, Tyrrell Premier 15s with 10 teams. So where can we see it going from here?
Oh, it can only get bigger and bigger, and be up there with the men. It's just awesome that it's being recognised now. It's just great. I wish we'd had more of an opportunity when we were younger as girls. So I'm really proud that it's got the backing and the sponsorship. So yeah, go for it. I think it's really good.
Brilliant. And just finally, do you think that Quins will be giving the Valkyries an early Christmas present? Or I don't want to ask you to predict the actual score. What about the outcome of the game today?
I think it'll be tough because they are a very good side and they've got some very good players. But just hopefully the Valkyries will hold their own and make it a good game.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the match.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so here with Davinia Catlin at the end of quite an impressive game. How was it for you?
Oh, it was great. It was lovely to get on the pitch with the girls. Some of our girls, it's their first game this season. Holly, who's back from a big old shoulder rehab, and Jess, who needs no introduction. So it was great to be on the pitch with those girls.
You were going for that ever sort of on the horizon 10th win of the season in a row.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels great. We're just working through our processes. We know we weren't 100% today. There's things we can work on. There's always things we need to work on, especially going into Christmas and then into a big game against Surrey's, our first game back.
Speaking of going into Christmas, was this the perfect present at this time of year?
Oh, it's always a present when you get to play rugby with your mates. That's for sure. Yeah, we loved it.
Well, for you personally, you got a couple of tries. How did that feel?
Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. It's just nice. It's just nice to play, regardless of if I'm scoring or someone else is scoring. It's a team performance, and that's what we look for. As long as we go through our processes and we do what we need to do per player, we're happy. We're happy.
You talk about Saracens, and obviously the more you win, the more you put pressure on them. Is that the aim really for sort of the next half of the season?
Yeah, we make no sort of bones about it. We want to win this trophy. We want to come first in this league, and we want to be in the best position possible to lift that trophy this year. It hurt us a lot last year, missing out by I think 3 or 4 points. So we know what we need to do this year, and we're all 60 of us are got our heads down going for it.
Brilliant. And just quickly, you spoke about Jess Breach before. Obviously there's been a lot of talk before this game about the women's contracts. How much of a boost is it? How big of a difference is it to have someone like Jess in the side?
You know, Jess is incredibly talented winger. Like she's brilliant. You know, when she's got the ball in hand, she's going to make ground, and she probably will score. So having Jess back is brilliant. Having contracted players, that's fantastic. You know, it's only going to help the game grow. So we're happy. You know, we're happy with how things are progressing for us, and even the non-contracted players, us with full-time jobs and businesses, we're still working hard to get where we need to get to.
Do you want to plug your business quickly? You're more than welcome.
The Winning Margin Sports Shop in South Croydon.
There you go. Buy stuff from there. Well, listen, thank you so much. Congratulations again, and have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year.
Fantastic, and you.
See you soon. Bye. So, Charlie Wilcox, unfortunately wasn't your day today. Must have been a bit of a tough game out there.
Yeah, it was. We know obviously Harlequins are a very physical team with big forwards especially, but I think each week we're progressing, and obviously from the last season as well, like scoreboard talks. Fortunately it was a hard game and we didn't come up with the result we wanted, but we are getting there, and I'm proud of the Worcester girls today, so yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you say you're getting there. I mean, we've watched you a couple of times on the Women's Rugby Show, and the first time we saw you was against Richmond, and it was agonisingly close.
Yeah, very.
Does it feel from your perspective that the side is improving week on week?
Oh yeah, definitely. As you can tell, like each week, like during training, we're analysing, we're going through moves. Like each week, we're getting better and better, we're getting more physical, stronger. We're working our set piece, and it is improving. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't get the results we want, and I don't think the results show what game we kind of play and how much effort we do put into the game. But yeah, definitely, girls are improving, and I can't say much more. I'm proud of them. So yeah. Absolutely.
You had a couple of new signings. Well, you've had the last few. You know, the last few weeks, you've had new faces come into the squad.
Yeah.
Has that made a difference?
Yeah, I know. Like obviously, like the girls that have come in, like they've really stepped to mark, and like they've come in, they put the effort in, they come training every week, and they've really like come together as a team. Like they've only been two weeks now since they've joined us, and we're a family, we're a team, and we've really welcomed them into the team. They're doing everything they can, like on the pitch, they're performing, and like 100% back them, and they're part of the like Worcester Warriors now, Worcester Valkyries now. So obviously, yeah, I think it's making a big difference. It's bringing something new into the team as well, as you can see on the pitch. So yeah. And
one of the big talking points from Worcester's side before the game was the return of Laura Keates from injury.
Yeah.
What's it been like having her back in the side?
Oh, it's brilliant. Like the experience she has, like helping the forwards, especially in scrums, like just little tips, little pointers, really like bringing the team up. Like unfortunately, she only plays so much, and I'd love to have her longer on the pitch. But yeah, she really brings that experience in. Same with like last Mark as well, same with Beck. Like they bring that in, and as you can tell, it's a very young team, and we need that experience sometimes just to help us and really boost us up. So yeah, it's brilliant, especially with the older lot coming. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, all exciting.
Brilliant. So look, it's that time of year. I've not asked this question to anyone else yet, but have you got any New Year's resolutions for 2019?
I don't think I've thought about it, but definitely gonna hit the gym over Christmas, not too many mince pies and too many desserts, but definitely gonna work hard. I know the rest of the team on when we come back, straight back into the first game, and hopefully we make a mark getting the result that we want. So we'll see.
Brilliant. Well, listen, really sorry again today, but thank you for talking to us, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too. Thank you very much.
We're here with Shaunagh Brown and Jess Breach. First of all, congratulations. Must have felt good.
Yeah, it's good to get the last one before Christmas, so close to Christmas as well, but nice and easy to get a good run out, get a lot of points on them, and just do what we do best as Harlequins.
It must have been a bit odd for you because you've only just come back into the squad this week. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice coming into training on Tuesday and just settling in with everyone. Feels like I haven't been away. Everyone's so welcoming, and it's good to get a nice run out before Christmas.
And a try as well.
Yeah.
We managed to get that on social media, so hopefully you'll be able to see that.
Nice.
So you've won 10 in a row now. I guess from the start of the season, is your aim to win the league? I know it's quite an obvious question, but you kind of had the start of the season was a little bit slow, and now you've picked up.
Yeah, as a team, as Harlequins, we always intend to win whatever we do, whether it's individual battles, individual scrums, individual tackles, individual games. What we want to do is win at everything and get bonus points as much as we can, put as many points on the board, and just play our game all the time and always stick to our game and not play to somebody else's. So yeah, we want to win the Premiership, when we always have and always will.
You talk about playing your game, and it started off like a house on fire, and then it kind of slowed down a bit. What happened?
You have to have a little breather, don't you? It is just a bit settling down, because I think it was quite a fast game today, and Worcester were a very different team to what say they usually are. So it was getting used to sort of how they are now, and settling in, and then eventually realising what are the good things, what are the bad things, what we need to work on, especially taking it into half time, getting advice from the coaches, getting the messages from the sidelines, and just following through with that.
Is it difficult, these kind of games, when, okay, with all due respect to Worcester, they're sitting bottom of the table, they've not won, do you not go in and think, well, actually, this could be a walkover?
Not really. We need to not go in complacent. I think we need to think we're playing one of the best teams in the Prem, and because we need to go out in every game and have a really good start. So then when we play Wasps and Saracens, it's the same mentality. So I think we did well in the start of this game, and I think Shaunagh said, we're a bit tired and after coming out at half time, but we just still need to build from that.
Sure, and I'm going to have to bring it up. This week there's been a lot of talk about contracts, and one of the first of 3 England women players to get it. How important is the contract system for women's rugby as a whole?
It's fantastic. To get women in and having contracts is amazing. It's going to grow the game. It's going to make players better players, because you can train full time and not have to worry about, I've got to go to the gym before I go to work, and then I've got to go to training later. So I think it will really be really important and really beneficial.
Okay, and finally, Shaunagh, it's that time of year. It's Christmas. It's time for you to relax. What is the one thing you're most looking forward to at this time of year?
I would say all the food, but I'm a new person now. I'm a prop, and instead of putting on weight, I'm actually losing it, which is not good. So maybe I'll just get some good proteins inside and good carbohydrates, and try and stay away from the chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate fan, to be honest. So yeah, I know it's crazy. But yeah, just get the good food. There'll be loads of food, but it's about getting the right stuff inside me, and lots of sleep. Although I am working tonight, so this is.
And family time. Family time.
Yeah, family time. I mean, I live with them, so
you haven't got any choice. And what have you got? Anything on your Christmas list?
I don't think so, no. No, not really. Maybe a speaker, I think I asked for, but hopefully I've been a good girl and Santa will get it for me.
And obviously a Tyrrell Premier 15 title win.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks a lot. Bye. Right, Laura Keates, you are back after 2 years. How does it feel?
Yeah, not quite 2 years, but yeah, just short of 19 months. Absolutely incredible. It's been a lot longer than I wanted, a lot longer than I initially thought. Didn't realise your Achilles took that long, but yeah, absolutely great to be back with the team as well.
Have you watched any of their progress this season?
Yes, yeah, I've watched quite a lot. It's just a really young squad, as you know. We've struggled a bit this season. No discredit to the girls. They're trying, and we're working, and we are improving. It'll just take a bit of time, but yeah, we're getting there.
When you stepped out today onto that pitch, describe the feeling.
It's really weird. So I don't normally get nervous before a game because I try and can it. But yeah, as they're about to kick off, it is that little bit of butterflies, that little bit of I'm actually back, and then also let's hope my Achilles doesn't snap again.
Was there any concern about obviously the injury resurfacing, or is it just a case of look, what's done is done, and just put your body on the line in 110%?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't thought about it much, which is lucky. I haven't felt it as well, which is really good. And the team that I've been working with, the support that I've had, have been really good to make sure it's stronger than it was before. I've got all the numbers to prove that, so yeah, it should be fine.
Brilliant. Just talk us about the support, because I don't think many people would know from a women's rugby perspective that level of support. Like what do you get at your level of sport?
So I've been incredibly lucky. I'm back at uni, living the dream. Little midlife crisis, but so I'm back at Birmingham Uni, and the guys there have been absolutely brilliant. So seeing a physiologist, get massage, physio, and also S&C, and also like lifestyle support as well. And that's just been absolutely incredible. Also been supported through, obviously, because I got injured while I was contracted, through EIS and through England, and then obviously add on to that Worcester support. So I've been very, very lucky with what I've had, and I think it's helped that I've come back stronger. So
you're pretty much covered then.
Yeah, yeah, for now. Yeah.
Well, look, you talk about contracts. There's been a lot of talk this week about women's contracts. How important is it for the women's game?
It's massive to be able to actually be a full-time player, and obviously I was lucky enough to do that just before the World Cup. It's absolutely invaluable. Obviously the biggest thing is rest. We all used to get up at 6 o'clock, you know, the alarm would go off, get up before 6 o'clock so that we're in the gym for 6. We've done our session, then head on to a full day of work. You know, everything around it just gives us the time to relax and put our feet up when we need it, and also means you can then head out and train and really make it quality.
And you mentioned the World Cup and England. That has to be a goal for you now.
Yeah, definitely. I think any player, you ask any player who's in the TP15 and that's English, or I mean, obviously mine will be to play for England. But yeah, they all want to aspire to play for their country and to make a World Cup. That is the dream.
And you talk about rest and relaxing.
Yeah.
Now's that time of year where you can do that. Is it a little bit odd that you sort of get back into it and then you kind of stop straight away?
Unfortunately, although my support has been great, they don't really want me to rest over Christmas. So yeah, no, I'll probably be on quite a bit of training over Christmas just to get myself back up. Obviously, I'm coming in 3/4 of the way into the season, so I need to make sure I'm back to full fitness. So Christmas will be not as fun for me.
And just finally, you've got half a season to go now with the Valkyries. They've not won a game. Can they turn it around? Yeah,
definitely. I think we believe that we can turn it around. There's just the big thing we say to ourselves is consistency. When it's there and it's good. It's just making sure that we're there and we're doing it for longer periods of time each time, and also backing it up with good rather than a few good things and then that last pass or that last tackle. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you very much. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
And a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
So there we have it. It was, as expected, a rough game for Worcester Valkyries, with Quins absolutely dominating. But as always, I think the greatest thing to see is the size of the crowd and just how great the players are, not just sort of to each other as teammates, but also to the opponents and to us as well, because this show's all about promoting women's rugby. So again, please, before we go anywhere, before you stop watching and watch something else, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below if you've got any thoughts of your own. We'd love to hear from them, and do make sure you follow us on social media at Women's Rugby Show. It's that time of year, so we're sure a lot of you are going to be sitting around having mince pies and turkey and playing games with your family. So if you do get a few minutes, please just make sure that all your family and friends are following us as well. So listen, that's it. This is our last episode of 2018. It's been great so far. Really excited to be part of this project, and we look forward. I'm sure Bex will be back for the next episode. We look forward to seeing you in 2019. So from all of us here at the Women's Rugby Show, have a very Merry Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, have a Happy New Year. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in 2019. See you soon. Bye.